Hey guys, I hope you had a lovely Christmas, etc. Well, it's say etc. It's just Christmas, isn't it? Um, I wanted to do a little update. I haven't done an update in ages publicly. I've been doing videos daily on improvement stuff. Bar the days we've been closed. But yeah, we've been pub because you guys probably don't want to see all of that, all the improvement bits and pieces. But yeah, publicly, I think late October, November was like the last one I did. Since then, we've had a new guy that's been doing some of the 3D printing bits and pieces that you can see in the background. The 3D printers are still yet to move into the horrible corner that I'm not going to show you. Uh, that should be the plan for the first week when we come back on the 4th, but we'll see. We've created some new products. So there's a little path mark, a new little path marker, which the light output is absolutely incredible on. Here's a eyelid, a large eyelid, and then we've done a smaller eyelid as well, which oh, I can show you it. The smaller eyelid was very specifically requested by Richard Myers. He would like it in the keeping of what we do existing. So Nakamura has basically enabled stuff like that to be machined, which is awesome. The guys have been, doing improvement stuff every day. Excuse me, I'm suffering. Um, we got the parts racks have been actually moved to the back of the desk, so like when they go up and down, the rack moves up and down with it. We've got more of these clothes rails, but we're actually hanging the lights over them. It keeps the leads off the floor, which is awesome. I've got to, when we return, I'm going to get the pick and place machine going. I've said it for too long, but genuinely, I really want to do it. And yeah, 3D printers. Excuse me. Oh dear, trying to die somewhere else. I've got a new belt printer that isn't working, brand spanking new from Technology Outlet, and hasn't worked from day one. And they're sending us a new motherboard because it's basically not seeing the limit switch trigger, even though the limit switch works and the lead's fine, etc. We've got two perusers that are dead at the moment, and we haven't yet figured out what's wrong with them. We've got one that's being built, a new one that's being built. So hopefully, once we've got that one built, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Prusa Mark 3 S's, 2 minis, and 1 print mill. Fingers crossed. Abdul, who does the 3D printing, he does just 2 days a week. So it's a lot to ask for him to get through, and it takes a lot of time to do these bits and pieces. Anyway, I'll show you quickly if much has changed since I last did an update. Upstairs, nothing much. Changing with this wall, 2 desks. The showroom bit's up temporarily at the minute. Well, I say temporarily, it's we're just missing one part up there to get it in place. And our TV got smashed at Futurescape. Well, on the way back from Futurescape, kind of annoyingly. Nothing much changed around here. The chicken wire that was originally used for the showroom is going to go. So we're going to change it. So in the showroom space, we're going to change this to plywood, and then you can actually put the wood chip over it. The holes will be pre-cut for the plants. It'll make it easier. We can actually write on, what plants go where. So thought it'd be a great improvement. Oh, it's gone dark. Great, yeah, thought it'd be a nice improvement. Plus, then we can mark where the lights go, and it'll be a little bit more because what we want to do is 2022. We're going to do a couple of shows, and we're hoping that we can get someone else to come in and do the builds and bits for us. Down here, Nakamura was running stainless steel by the looks of it. Oh, sorry, I'm not being conscious of what is what here. But yeah, it's been running stainless steel. There's no parts to be seen in there. It's actually running path markers, believe it or not. First time we've ever programmed path markers on here. The Hass is just the live axis is a bit hit and miss. So we thought, you know what, let's just program it in the Nakamura. And it's actually really easy to do because we just use Fusion 360. It makes it super easy. Parts lift actually does work, goes up and down, but there is no control for it yet. The powder coating area got some new lighting. It's not all temps at the moment, not on the sensor yet. Joe's going to do the sensor when we come back first day we're back. I'm really looking at adding another oven because powder coating's become the bottleneck. Now we've been running the Nakamura constantly. We've got so many parts coming off. I mean, not the way parts should be treated. But this is how parts have kind of like, well, what happened was that one of these boxes had Allen keys in it, and then someone started putting parts in it, and so it's been chucked about. And basically, a hydro vane failed. Turns out that from the manufacturer, they put the non-return valve on the wrong side. So non-return valve was, do you see this? Do you see this T piece? If I can move my finger in the right place, that T piece there. Well, the non-return valve was that way, and then there was a gauge on there. Now, when I've got the hydro feed or the hydro vane, sorry, it had always read like, I don't know, 180 psi. And I was like, why is it reading 180 psi? No, they get the tanks empty. It's because they put the non-return valve in the wrong place. And that's caused every single seal to fail. So the guys have been working this last few days when we were open. We've got a seals kit, etc. But now we found out that was the case. Now we know that actually it should have been under warranty. Air Energy sent a service engineer to have a look. Said that the non-return valve was faulty, and said it was because the oil emulsified at 77 hours. But in fact, it's the non-return valve. I mean, yeah, maybe the oil was emulsified. It is a bit gunky and stuff, but definitely non-return valve is the reason all the seals have blown and had it. So there's a conversation to be had there about that. The anodizing area is gonna move. So at the moment, this table's not normally here. This table's normally over here under the lathe. You see, it's all a bit chaotic as we finished on the on Christmas Eve. We finished at 2 o'clock. We wanted to get finished. Get the last few orders out. I think we did a record 205 lights or something like that. I'd have to check on the system, but I'm sure it's over 200. Yeah. So anyway, the anodizing area is going to move to back here, which means obviously ductwork has to be reworked for that to work out. And then I don't know what's going to happen with the sanding area, etc. yet. Basically, the parts, we've got these these racks come from upstairs, and they've been moved downstairs to deal with parts. We're actually going to go back upstairs because down here is a little bit it gets a little bit dusty, etc. from sanding and whatnot. And obviously, if you've got finished parts, you don't want that happening. So we kind of want to deal with that better. Joe's got his powder coating bits on that rack at the moment. You can see those filament boxes have actually got the smaller 1 kilo bags of powder, and occasionally when we got order a custom rail, we needed a solution because they need to be in a box to go into the corner of that of the powder coating gun, and that is the simplest solution for that. It doesn't cost us anything. They would have otherwise gone to recycling, which is great for us to be able to reuse something like that. Yeah, I've always said I don't like to show the mess, but I'm hoping that again when the Tuesday that we're back, Tuesday the 4th, I'm planning to do a video probably after we free-est, and then hopefully we can sit all tidy. Plans. I'm trying to recruit someone still to do admin. I've crossed that over to do admin, photography, and video, like we kind of did before, but I want that person in person. Because it's an important aspect of what we do. We kind of need them here, and we need them to be part of the team. When Marina and Adrian was remote, they did absolutely a superb job. We had some financial difficulties. We've still been having, I suppose, but remote is not exactly the best way of dealing with it either. Definitely feel like someone needs to be in person, so it's just trying to find the right person for that. Hopefully soon. And I've been considering, so we our output's gone up quite a bit, which is fantastic, but then at the same time I feel like I've been involved in a lot of the production side. So is that the factor of me coming into the production side, or is it our efficiencies? And I'd love to say it's the efficiencies, but I almost feel like it might be me coming in to help, because obviously if I can maybe build, I'm pushing on the machine every morning, early in the morning, and I'm assembling another 15, 20 lights for day. That's going to obviously help the end numbers, which is a little bit an unfair comparative. Not necessarily I'd love to continue doing it, but just to do all the bits and pieces that need to be done, there just isn't the time. So it was something to kind of get us through the very, very busy period, We've got I think 120 lights to make as of the first week of January. I'm hoping that we will, even though a lot of that's scheduled for the second week, I'm hoping that we're actually going to knock majority of that out in the first week. Completely doable. It's really down to us, making sure that everything fits perfectly. I mean, we did. So a while ago, we machined these. Sorry, my nose is itching. We machined these lights for a customer that had originally 100 and it was reduced to 46. So we machined them ages ago, and the parts were perfect in dimension, bar I think one that we were assembling. So of this 46. So as we were putting them together, I could not tell you how easy it was to assemble those lights. It's very frustrating that they sat there for as long as they did without being assembled, but we kind of like dealing with the orders in order in the system. But yeah, they just went together so well, and it just shows us dimensionally how critical it is. And so one of the things that we're doing sounds really silly. Well, it sounds really obvious, but see this part? That's actually the true length after it's done a current command forward. So we're machining everything shorter. Typically, we'd machine it out that far. And obviously, the further out you have things hanging out, the more whip and stuff you have in them, and the less tolerances you have. But now, I mean, look at this, right? That's a reflector. Look at how perfect that is. Perfectly curved radius on there. There's a burr on the back that needs to be clipped off. All we do is we just clip that off and we just run a reaming tool around it, easy peasy, and it's done. And then also there was some wall light tops in this drawer as well. And the wall light tops are even easier. They just need to be just reamed. Nothing needs to be clipped off of them. Look, there's no burr on there at all. So it just literally ream in and you're away. So we've tried to eliminate sanding where we can. We've got some work to do. The hardest part, the one that's most frustrating, is this reset light top, because you can see that burr. Bring it in there. It was focusing on me. Okay. That burr is shorter than they typically would be. So you saw the burr on the back of the. Oh no, there we go. I'm going to grab this part. That burr. What is it about? Well, that's a 2mm burr, right? So normally depends on the parting off blade, I guess. So you might have a 3mm burr on here, or it might be a 2mm burr. Now this burr is actually smaller, 1.5, 1mm, something like that, and it is a really difficult in 316 stainless steel to get off. So we have to just sand through it. Not ideal, not something we want to do. And we want to eliminate the sander. So it's a process. We can, as Alex had kind of said before, you can do it with the right tooling. So the plan is to, I think we're going to get one of the reps in that he's recommended, and talk to him about what we want to achieve, and see what they can come up with, really. Whether or not, I mean, we might have a little bit of an experiment ourselves, because it might be just changing the parting off blade insert here, so it's neutral at the moment, to a left hand or right hand, I can't remember which. But changing the hand of the insert, that might make all the difference. Alex talks about pre-part off chamfer tools, so that's another option. It's really about eliminating that burr. If you've got like a little edge, if the ream, no problem at all. We can do that all day long. But that burr is a pain, causes us an issue. I'd rather have the finish. I mean, this finish actually isn't that great, but if you can get the parting off cycle right, you can get quite a nice finish on that edge. And then it's all good. I mean, the other option is obviously when we get the sub-spindle Nakamura, we can come in, take that part, and then dear me, and face the front off. So that's another option. But I'm just trying to, if we can eliminate and single what, then that'd be the best thing. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. So I will see you soon. Love to you all. Have a lovely New Year's. Bye.